questions up. So on this vlog we are going to answer some questions, hence why the title is Q&A with me. Basically I chucked some questions out on my, I'm not sitting on my phone by the way, I'm just looking. So basically I've put out some questions on my Instagram. Just asked everybody whatever they want to ask me, whether it's to do with motorbike racing, anything whatsoever. So basically this is the amount that we have had. So as you can see, I'm going to have to try and pick some rather than trying to do them all, because we'll be here all night. Fuck, why am I so shit at technology? Right, let's get this show on the road. Questions. A lot of these I can't even read out because the world is full of lunatics that just want to see you make a clown of yourself on the internet. How did you get into road racing and how much does it cost? How much does it cost? Not got a effing clue, because that decides on the level of the rider, the level of the team, just millions of factors. The crashing, hospitality, just too much to even. Well, actually, do you know what? Taylor has done a really good breakdown of how much it costs to ride in British Championship, and honestly, well, I'll put a link in to his thing or whatever on below. But honestly, it would probably blow your mind how expensive motorbike racing is. But how did I get into motorbike racing is easy to answer. Road racing, sorry. Purely by accident, if I'm honest, because the team I'm currently with now, and the boss, Phil Reed, asked me if I wanted to go to the Northwest in 2011. No pressure, just come for a ride round. I was just doing British Championship then. And yeah, I went along and I absolutely loved it. And to be totally honest, I've loved it pretty much ever since. Even in them really shitty wet days. Well, you love getting in one piece, I think, and getting to the pub, but yeah, even in them shitty wet days. Do you have a road license, and if not, are you going to get one? The answer to that question is no, and no, because I don't really have any joy for riding on the road bike. I ride my bicycle on the road and that's dangerous enough, so yeah, I can't imagine riding a motorbike on the road. Which tyres do you prefer, Pirelli or Dunlops, and why? I'm going to say Dunlops because I get them for free and I have to pay for Pirellis in British Championship, so Dunlops. Do you think road racers like yourself are a different breed to short circuit racers? I hear this all the time, and I don't really understand what people mean by a different breed. Does that mean that you've got different coloured blood, or I just don't understand. It's the same thing. You're riding a motorbike, you're of the same amount of arms, same amount of legs. Hi Lee, would you rather win a senior TT or become a MotoGP champion? I would. I don't think I'm going to do either. Well, I know for definite I'm not going to win a MotoGP championship, so I think winning a senior TT is closer, but it's probably still damn near impossible. So I'd say senior TT. Some of these are. I would actually like to read some of these out, but I would probably get banned off YouTube. Do you still get nervous before a race? Yeah, obviously different levels of nervousness for different races. Obviously, there's nothing, I can't even begin to explain what it's like sitting on the grid at the TT. The feeling of just pure. I don't think there's even a word to describe what that feels like. And I think if there was no other people there apart from the racers and like one or two of your mechanics, then I don't think it'd be anywhere near as bad. I think it's the fact of there's quite a lot of public obviously kept away from us but near you in the same time, and when you look at them and see they're nervous, and it always blows my mind as to somebody that can be just standing on the side. I know they've obviously maybe got people to worry about or whatever, but you see someone that's not riding the bike and they look really nervous, so it almost makes you think, fuck, if he's nervous I must be nervous. Then it gives you a weird feeling that It's crazy place, but the best feeling in the world once you let the clutch out and set off down the hill. Then there's nothing else feels like that. This is actually one of my mates. Do you wear Cuban heels? This is the things I have to put up with. What is greatest race or finish you have been part of or spectated? This one sticks in my throat a little bit, but honestly, probably one of the best races I've been involved with was the Ulster Grand Prix with Peter Hickman. I didn't win the race. That annoys me greatly. But to be beat by probably one of the best road racers in the world at the time, and that close, yeah, it still pissed me off. So it's pissing me off now even talking about it. Yeah, that is probably the best race to be involved in because we were ding dong and close as you like and really safe racing, and that's, yeah, enjoy that. Who is the best team you've ridden for? That's easy. The team I'm with now. Best people, and you would say that most people would probably say that when they're with any team, but I genuinely mean that. They're like my family, I suppose, and I've been with a lot of them for a very long time. So, yeah, easily the team I'm with now is a good one. What age are you going to stop at? I honestly don't know. I had a little thing in my head probably before all this happened, but realistically now I've gone from winning my first TT to 2 years of doing nothing. So, I can't put an age on that one. I don't know, but I'll know at the time. Obviously, when I'm physically turning up to a track and I've no chance of winning, I'll just stop because I've no desire to ride round and not be, at least if I'm honest with myself. If you can honestly look inside yourself and say, well, I'm turning up here, I've got the best bikes, a good team, or possibly one of the best bikes in a good team, and you think that you're the weakest link in that, well then what's the point in? What do you do after a crash when you lost the trust to the bike and yourself? I think, try and explain this to somebody that isn't an average or good motorbike racer. Somebody that has to do it as a job or is competitive on a high level would understand that it doesn't even really enter your head. I know subconsciously, and you do get back on it, but literally once you might lose 5% or 10% of confidence, which is enough to not help you win races. But as far as being afraid to get back on the bike, that's never the issue. I think the biggest thing is waiting on how long your body has to heal to get back on the bike. But it's good question. That's a hard question for people that don't race to understand of what you're going through. Here's a good one. What difference is there in riding style between roads and short circuits? And actually the question after it has said, what's the difference in bike setup and stuff? Honestly, I love this saying of people thinking, oh yeah, guys go road racing. It's obviously dangerous, but they only ride at 80%. If I ever meet anybody that's won a fucking TT and they won it by riding 80%, I'll shake his hand, because there is no chance. And people say, oh, it was easier in the old days. It wasn't easier in the old days. They might have had to ride a bit steadier because the bikes weren't as reliable and stuff, but at the time, them guys were trying hard, and the guys now are trying hard, and it's just a fact of life. Any top level sport, nobody wins anything by driving right. Well, apart from Formula 1, because their cars are so much better than somebody else's, but we're not going to go into that one. And as far as setup goes, not a lot either, because people think, oh, because it's a bit bumpier, then the bike has to be softer or anything. But when you're actually putting so much force, so say like up the mountain, you've got these really, really fast corners, and the bike is so loaded. If you ran the back of the bike softer to start off with, by the time you're doing 140, 50 mile an hour, trying to get the bike to turn, the bike's just going to blow through the stroke and sit down and then not want to turn. So you can't physically it's not possible to run the bike softer as much as you would like to. And ideally you want probably two settings, one from Ginger Hall to Ramsey, and then another setting for everywhere else. This is a fucking good question. Shag, marry, kill, Whittam, McGuinness, Rutter. As far as shagging goes, I wouldn't fancy shagging any of them. So I'll kick that one out. I Whittam, I could marry Whittam, not for anything other than I could. He's so entertaining to spend time with. Well, as you can see from some of my vlogs, I spend quite a lot of time with him anyway. Who would have killed out of Rutter and McGuinness? That'd be a tight one. To be fair, yeah, couldn't pick the killer out of either of them two. That is a good question. A good question. Well, one said, have you got any regrets? But this, your biggest regret? I think my biggest regret in, well, not in life, but in motorbike racing is probably for the first 4 or 5 years of my racing. I tried too hard, and it took me till after that to realise that I perform better when I'm relaxed a little bit and don't try so hard. My ability is maybe better than what I thought, and when I tried it, I probably choked a little bit. So if I went back now to 17, 18-year-old Lee, I would say to chill out a bit and try and actually enjoy it rather than stressing out. But I think a lot of that came from the fact that we had no money when I was starting, and I knew that if I didn't win and stuff, then we couldn't afford to be there. Do you know what I mean? We literally one chance at British Championship the first year, and if I hadn't won the junior superstock, we weren't able to pay for a ride and stuff. So I think a little bit come from that, and how much my dad put into to get me there. Do you know what I mean? It's frightening now. Once you get a bit older as a parent, you realise how much your own parents sacrificed. That's pretty much it. We've covered quite a variety of questions and stuff. Hope you've enjoyed this. I'll probably do another one in, like, I don't know, a couple of months' time. I'll chuck another thing out on social media, whether it be Twitter or Instagram. If you've got any more comments or anything, just chuck them in the comments box below. Please like and subscribe. Obviously, that's what we're here for. And yeah, hopefully see you back with another vlog next week. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye bye.